All right. Hello and welcome, guys. We're going to be talking today about your gratitude journal. And your gratitude journal is the second most important component of your journaling habit. We're going to start with just a quick quote that gratefulness in the worst places will keep you going. Now, I'm going to give a brief explanation as to why gratitude will always beat happiness. Here we have Dostoevsky on the right. Fyodor Dostoevsky was a Russian writer. He lived quite a brutal life during the Soviet Union, and he is coined one of the first psychologists. He was a philosopher, but his work was incredibly profound. It was incredibly deep to the point where you could have considered him a psychologist. Just the way that he described the inner workings of the human mind using metaphor and narrative stories. So he said, the mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but in finding something to live for. And I also have a picture of two Native Americans, which I'll get to in a moment. But I want you to just think about your highs, your emotional highs, the times that you're happy, whether it's being with family or being with your friends or winning big at an event or a competition or financially, or experiencing some sort of progress or having a wholesome memory, just those happy moments. I want you to just take yourself to that place. And now think about the fact that those are just moments. They aren't consistent, they aren't every day, they are moments, they are fleeting, they come and they go. But there is an emotion that is far more powerful and far more consistent. It's an emotion that you can rely on no matter how you are feeling emotionally or where you are in your life. Whether you're experiencing tragedy or triumph, you can always be grateful for something. So I used a picture here of a Native American teaching his child how to use a bow and arrow for hunting. And this image makes me think of a personal complex that I face when I go to the grocery store, which is that all the meat that you might eat, all the produce that you might enjoy, was farmed or caught or hunted for you by another man or another woman. And sure, you pay them for that service, but to some degree, your spirit might not be as grateful for the food, because you feel less involved in the process of that food. Whereas if you could imagine a Native American hunting, every single moment during that hunt they are grateful. They are grateful for their bow, they are grateful for their team, their tribe, their arrow. They are grateful for the shot that landed. They are grateful for the animal and the life that it provided, and the food and the materials and the hide or the leather. They're grateful for it all. And I think it's important to often think about how difficult life might have been in the past, because then it makes you realize how privileged you are to be here today, where technology is better and infrastructure is better and the financial systems are better, where we're pretty much all richer. Poverty is decreasing by the day. And yeah, I just feel like modern life can often strip you of that gratitude. So let's move on to our third slide and take a look at how we can be more effective at practicing gratitude, and when the best time to practice gratitude is, and just how it works. So an important question, a very quick one that I'd like to just ask you, because life isn't only filled with happy things. There's obviously a lot of terrible things that can really throw you off. But within those terrible things that really throw you off, it's going to be extremely difficult to be happy. But a question that you can ask yourself is that, can you be grateful for the cold? Can you be grateful for the traffic that you're sitting in for your hour-long commute to work? Can you be grateful that you have a car in that moment, that you can afford fuel in that moment, that you have something to listen to, whether it's music or a podcast or a passenger that you're conversing with? Can you be grateful when someone in your family is terminally ill? Can you be grateful that you can afford healthcare? Can you be grateful that they are still around? Even though they're ill, they're still around. Can you be grateful that you have time of day to go see them? So even in the worst of moments, if you learn to reposition your mind so that you can be grateful for the cold, you will be infinitely optimistic. Don't forget to stay hydrated. Okay, so now we're going to dive into 3 components to a successful gratitude journal. How I run my successful journal, how I practice gratitude in my mornings, how I use writing prompts to structure the way I view the world, structure the way that I view my day, and the things that I'm grateful for. Now, the first component here on the left, I'm just going to move me over. First component on the left here is, what characteristic or mindset within yourself or in your mentor or your community, just a mindset or a characteristic that you've been experiencing a lot of in your recent life that you're grateful for? Are you grateful for your humility? Are you grateful for your ambition? Are you grateful for your passion or your intuitiveness or your observations? Are you grateful for your hunger for more? Are you grateful for your orderliness and how you structure your day? Are you grateful for your empathy and how you connect with others? What characteristic that you have, that you continue to have, that you continue to develop, that you are grateful for? I like to make sure that my journal is written every single morning. It's the first thing that I do when I wake up, and it completely rewires the way that I experience that day. So that's the first prompt. What characteristic or mindset are you grateful for? The second one is a little bit more difficult, because now I want you to focus on something that at first appears negative in your mind. So we're going from what characteristic, what strength are you grateful for, to what difficulty are you grateful for. So this might be, I'm grateful for my shitty boss, because my shitty boss tests my patience and I'm able to develop better patience. Or I'm grateful for the neighbor's dog that barks, because it reminds me how much I take care of my dog and they don't take care of their dog because the dog's barking all day, whereas my dog is better behaved and I'm grateful that I have the time to take care of my dog. So you want to take a look at like a difficulty that you're experiencing and try and flip it. How can I flip this? Like consciously flip this into a perspective where you're thinking about, wow, this is a situation that I can actually be grateful for. Let's say that you're in high school and that you're too broke to afford booze to go to a party. There is something to be grateful for there. There's something to be grateful for there. You know, you're going to be missing out on that party. At first you're going to feel like, oh shit, I'm missing out. But then you're going to realize, wait a second, but I wanted to spend money on liquor so I can be around people that I don't really care about, so I can look a bit cool, so I can dance a bit, so I can be a bit confident after drinking. But then I'm going to sleep like shit. I don't have a way home because I can't drive. you're digging yourself in a hole, right? So take a look at a difficult situation, whether it's at work or at the gym or a bad habit that you have, and remind yourself, how can I be grateful? How can I be grateful for these things? That will completely turn you into a far more resilient person. And the last one, we're going to get out of your own head for a little bit. So, we first started with a trait in myself or in my environment, a characteristic that I'm grateful for. Then we went to a difficulty or a challenge in my life that I'm grateful for. And now we are going to move towards our support network. What is a relationship or a person in your life that you're grateful for? Are you grateful for your grandmother and her lovingness, her support, and her cooking? Are you grateful for your partner and their support and their friendship and their company? Are you grateful for your sibling who shares many memories with you and who motivates you? Are you grateful for your parents who encourage you? Or your friend at school who makes you laugh? So take a look at your support network. There's at least someone in your immediate environment you can think, wow, they do this small thing or they do this big thing that really impacts my life. It impacts my week, my month, my year. It impacts my life. It's a trait that they exude that has an impact on my life. I'm grateful for that. Those are the 3 prompts that I reckon if you could start with just writing 1 sentence for each, that's 3 sentences every single day. It'll take you 5 minutes or less in your gratitude journal. If you do that first thing in the morning, I guarantee it will reshape, it will restructure the way that you perceive happiness, the way that you perceive sadness, and the emotional ups and lows and sideways of your life. You'll be far more consistent in your positive, optimistic state. Alright, so here we have an example of what a gratitude journal entry might look like. So picture this. You're waking up, you're feeling a little bit groggy, you're warm in bed, it's 6:30 a.m. and you know that you've got to get ready, dressed and ready, hit the shower and go to work. Okay, it's the first morning that I want to try this gratitude journal. So I'm going to immediately shoot up, climb out of bed, my knees are a bit sore, but I'm going to make it to my desk. I'm feeling a bit foggy, I'm going to have a sip of water, and I'm going to open my gratitude journal, get a pen out. And let me remember what the prompts were. Oh yes, the first prompt was, what is a characteristic that I'm excited about? One that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my ambition. It makes me want to accomplish more for myself in order to self-actualize and benefit those around me. I'm grateful for this trait, and this is what it does for me and for others. I'm grateful for my brother. He motivates me to take on more challenges and encourages me to not be so hard on myself. So that's a person in my support network that I'm grateful for. And then I encourage myself to write, to investigate, why am I grateful for that person? This is what they deliver. This is what they give. This is what they so generously give to my life. And lastly, a difficulty or a challenge that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my commute. Although I get irritable and don't like how long it takes, it is a necessary part of my day, and I travel safely. I enjoy podcasts and music while driving, and it's a way for me to fill my heart or fill my head. It's a way for me to educate myself through audiobooks or be present with good music. So that's an example of a realistic journal entry, one that you could start tomorrow morning. It'll take you 5 minutes to do, and if you get consistent at that, you'll become unstoppable. No one will be able to pull a negative emotion over you, and you'll find a way to view something to be grateful for in every single situation. So this is the end of it. Your gratitude journal is complete. You know exactly what to do. You know the steps. You know the prompts. You know the importance of gratitude and the fleetingness of other emotions. And yeah, I think that there's a very, very big reason why 99% of all religions on earth have gratitude, they have prayer, they have meditation, they have all these ways of expressing gratitude to yourself, to your community, to the higher power or the universe. And I think that these are the reasons why it's such a core part of being a human, such a core part of being an animal or a being that is very aware of its own pain and difficulties and challenges. This is an easy way for you to ground yourself within those challenges, within those pains. And here's a quote to finish off, just final thoughts. Gratitude will rid you of the self-defeating thoughts that emerge on your journey. I encourage you to try this daily. Combining gratitude journaling with your warm-up will create a much more balanced journaling approach in your life, because your warm-up will push you to focus more on the future. But if you live too much in the future, you not only forget the present, but you also run the risk of becoming anxious about the future and the actions that you're taking today. So I encourage that you pair gratitude journaling with your warm-up, because gratitude journaling will bring you to the present. It will bring you to what is. It will bring you to what actions you need to take today in order to impact your future. It will rid you of that anxiety that you might feel, whether it's the anxiety of upcoming events or your anxiety to perform. So give this a try, pair it with your warm-up journal, and your life will change. Thank you for watching, and well done for completing part 2.